All right, we're looking at independent practice, 5-4, it's number 15. This is one of those larger scenarios, so you really do have to take a moment to kind of digest all the content before you dive into it. So let's take a look at what we got. 200 students in the senior class. Okay, so it appears we'll be looking at just seniors. 64 are in band or on the honor roll, so they're one or the other. 32 seniors in band, so that's total number of seniors in band. 51 seniors on the honor roll, so that's a total for the honor roll. And then our question here, what is the probability that a randomly selected senior is both in band and on their honor roll? So we're going to use a probability relationship that relates our probability of one or the other and their individual probabilities, and then an and probability. And that is this relationship. That is the probability of A or B. And we can assign event A and B to be either the band or the honor roll, is the probability of each of those individually, so the probability of A plus the probability of B. And then since we have both of those probabilities added up, we want to make sure we don't double count anyone who's in both groups, so we'll subtract the probability of A and B. All right, so we should be able to get that relationship, although that is awfully difficult to read. The Sharpie's kind of together. I think I can make that a little bit clearer. Probability of A, and then I'll just do like an and B. There we go. A little bit easier to read there, slightly. All right, I am going to use the formula, but I'm also going to set this up in a two-way table because it's a little bit easier for me to see it. So I want to make sure I got all those numbers kind of clear in my head. That's my 200, that's my grand total. All of the seniors is 200. And then I have an or total here, and that's my 64. 64 in one or the other. And then I have marginal totals here for band, which is 32. And then I have another marginal total here for seniors on the honor roll. So there's 51 on the honor roll. So I'm going to set up a two-way table that uses these for my events. I'll make event A band, and I'll make event B being on the honor roll. So let me slide this up just a little bit, and I'm going to set up a two-way table for that. So we'll do a little 2x2 grid. I'm going to take event A, which is band. I'll put that here, band. And you're either in band or not, so I'm going to put a yes or a no. And then my second event is honor roll, so I'm going to put that here on the side. Honor roll. And you're either in the honor roll or not, so I'm going to put a yes or no here. And then I'm going to start filling in some of these numbers. The first thing I have is 200 students in the senior class. That's total. So that goes down here. That's my grand total, 200. It'll be all of these added up, all of these added up, or you can think of it as all four boxes individually added up. What these boxes are, right? This is the yes, yes. So band honor roll numbers here. This is no for band, yes for honor roll. This is yes for band, no for honor roll. And this is the double no, not an either. Okay, so let's see, we got 64 in band or the honor roll. Now that actually isn't one of these spaces down here, it's these three boxes together. It's anywhere there's a yes. It's the yes, yes box, the yes, no box, and the no, yes box. All three of those total up to 64. Now 32 of them are in band, so that is the yes column for band number. 32 being in band is going to be down here as a marginal frequency. It's a total on the outside because it's the yes and no for the honor roll, but both in band. And then let's see, what's my next one I got here? 51 seniors on the honor roll. So that's a yes for the honor roll row. So 51 is going to go here. And again, it's a marginal because it doesn't matter if you're on band or not. The total is 51. All right, now what I want to do is, really what I need to get is this box. This is answering my question, this out of 200. So the fact that I have 64 being in all of them and 32 are their marginal totals, I want to find out how far apart those numbers are, because how far apart they are is going to give me my double count. 32 and 51 together is probably not 64. Let's see, 32 plus figure all that out. 32 plus 51, 83. So that's definitely higher than 64. How much higher? 19. So that's what I double counted when I looked at the OR number. So I want to put that 19 in here. Oh, right there. 19 is the yes, yes. It is how much higher this total is than that guy. Okay, so actually at this point I can answer the question, because the question is, what is the probability that a randomly selected senior is both in band on the honor roll? I want to know basically how many I have in the yes, yes box out of my 200. That said, I can fill in the rest of these numbers, right? We can get what those are. 200 minus 51, that gives me 149 here. And I do 200 minus 32, that gives me 168. 32 minus 19, oops, I wasn't really showing you the math there. That's 13. 51 minus 19. Part of the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to confirm that the two-way table has everything set up correctly. 149 minus 13, 136. So these two should add to that number. That should add down 8. Yep, that works. And then these three numbers, the ones I put the little blue dot in earlier, 13 plus 19 plus 32. Look, that gives me 64. And that was the number that was in band or on the honor roll. So I know I got this thing set up correctly. So let's see, I can do the probability of, what do I want, A and B? Yeah, that was the question, band and honor roll. A and B. Well, that's going to be 19 out of 200. And I don't believe that can be simplified. I'm just going to leave it as a ratio. That's it as a decimal. Let's see, math, make it a fraction. Yeah, it goes back to 19 over 200. So I'm just going to leave it as that. Okay, now what I also want to do is I want to show you that the relationship, the formula, the rule works as well. All right, so we need the probability of A or B. Well, they give us that number at 64, right? We had 64 students that was in the band or the honor roll. So I'm going to go 64 out of 200. And then I'm going to do my individual probabilities. So my probability of being in band, well, that's 32 out of 200. And then the seniors is 51 out of 200. So those will be these two right here. I'm going to do 32 out of 200 for band. And then honor roll, that was 51 out of 200. And then what I actually don't know is this, the probability of A and B. So to solve this, what I got to do is move these guys over to the other side. I'm going to subtract 32 over 200. And I'm going to subtract 51 over 200. And that's going to equal minus probability of A and B. And this is negative here, but this should give me a negative fraction. So let's do that here. Let me set it where we can see both. I'm going to do this into the calculator. 64 minus 200, or not minus, divided by 200. That's how we write a fraction, right? 32 over 200 minus 51. Oh, oops, I want to put parentheses around that. Over 200. And that's that decimal that I saw a moment ago. If I turn this back into a ratio, to a fraction, I get negative 19 over 200. And again, that equals this negative probability. So I can basically multiply both sides by negative or divide both sides by negative, however you want to think of it. But they both basically can both become positive. So my final answer, probability of A and B is 19 over 200, which is the same answer I got when I analyzed it from a table, 19 out of 200. Either way works. You'd really only have to solve it once, but I like you to have options and to sort of see how the rule does work when we try to put it in a more manageable and visual representation. Hope that's helpful. Message me anytime with questions. I'll see you in class.